So, welcome to No Shame, episode 3, powered by Limor. Here we are in SPG, Dublin 24, in the Limor studio, of course. And today we have a special guest, absolute legend. When we started this, I wanted to get this guy on first. The original OG of MMA, Owen, the Rowdy Roddy. What's the story?
Well, that's the crack. Pleasure, Paddy, as always. I love the intro, man. Yeah, I gotta get a big fat head there when I get an intro like that. But, yeah, delighted to be on and delighted to get down and have a chat, man. It's been a while.
Deadly, man. And as I said, the idea of getting you on here was to tell a few of the tales, go through a few of the tales on the way up, because a lot of people that be listening to this, they're MMA fans. There's all sorts of different fans, crazy fans. There's out and 60 years of age that run shops, you know. But Roddy is one of the original kind of pioneers of Irish MMA. That when I started, Roddy was already in the club, had his blue gloves. He was a little bit younger. He was, and he was the one that welcomed me and inspired me into MMA. Me and Dane Donnelly walked into the club, and
That's
it was
right.
we'll go through it now in a second. But Owen Roddy had a huge career in MMA. Not only that, he became one of the most known pad men in the world for being Conor McGregor's pad man. He's been involved in so many huge fights, the Aldo fights, the Nate Diaz fights, the breakdowns, the strategies, and of course the Floyd Mayweather fight, which was the biggest fight of the century. So not bad for a little chap from Ballymun.
I know, yeah, man. Jesus, some fucking chancer. That's what I'll say, man. To be honest, yeah, I'm just like, you know, I'm from Ballymun. I didn't come from much, like as you said, most of us, so yeah, I'm just happy to be on this crazy journey, and obviously, you know, people work very hard, and I've worked very hard to get where I am, but it's been a crazy road, and I'm just embracing every moment.
Do you know what? And as you say, like working hard. I think this year is kind of where it's all at starting kind of happening for you a little bit more. Like I know you're working with Gymshark now. You're an athlete representing under them as well. Your own gym as well is starting to kind of fluctuate with numbers. Your Roddy's vlogs. Jeez, what else have you got going, Roddy?
Yeah, Jesus, man, I'm chancing my arm at everything, to be totally honest. Yeah,
3-10 things till we come off.
Yeah, I give it all a go, to be honest. And I mean, I got that from, you know, doing mixed martial arts. The thing is, like, when you compete in BJJ or mixed martial arts, and people are trying to choke you and trying to kill you, taking a risk, you know, doing a vlog or doing a little video, it's a lot easier. Like, so, you know, the fact that I've came through mixed martial arts, I have no real fear in trying that. And so I'm doing vlogs, I'm doing techniques of the week, and I'm setting up other businesses abroad and stuff like that. So I'm flat out, and I'm enjoying it all.
I'm delighted for you, because as the kind of swell came up in a wave, that your name wouldn't have been at the forefront of that kind of swell. But to me, it was always like, what the fuck aren't they talking about? The Roddy in that situation. But, and the idea was you were happy for everybody that was making it at that time. Where a lot of people can be like bitter at that time, but you kind of held the ropes on, and now you are getting exactly what you deserve.
Yeah, but you know yourself, Paddy, that time in the gym, you could not be happy for the team around us. We had something very special.
Yeah.
Like, and I talk about this, and I've done interviews. What we had in that gym in Longwood was, you know, something very, very rare, very special. Every one of us got behind each other, and if any of us done well, everyone was just so overwhelmed and so happy for them. So for me, I was at the forefront, and you know, I was fighting on the European scene, and I was fighting professional before any of us.
100%.
But you know, you all looked up to me. I tried my best to give everybody as much help as I could, and then to see you guys go in and smash it, you know, all over the world as well, I took a bit of pride in that as well. So it was unbelievable, and I'm happy that I was part of it.
And do you know what? But that I say things like that as well, and I just cannot be bitter for people that are doing well and stuff like that. I'm happy, but I think that's something to do with the way you were raised as well. But like, it's mad to say that not everyone is like that. Yeah. Like, not everyone can be happy for their next door neighbours doing well. You know what I mean? Yeah,
and for me, like, I you know, I stopped training, or I stopped fighting for various reasons, and that kind of that killed me for a while. You know what I mean? For the first 6 or 7 months, when I announced my retirement, for the first 7 or 8 months, I was bitter. Not bitter about what everybody else was doing, just bitter that I lost my shot. Like, do you know what I mean?
Was over, yeah.
But you know, you can sit and dwell and shit like that, and let it eat you up and become a bitter person, or you can look at the road and you can see what other other routes are available, and you can pick one, and that's what I done. And then coaching became my main priority, and you know what, for most part I've been very successful as a coach as well.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I just feel that when a door shuts, you gotta find another way and figure it out and go. Or you can just sit behind the door and be a little whinge bag and give out.
And everyone, do you know what? And that's it, the whinging mentality, you know, as they would say. But like that's not in you, definitely.
Yeah.
It's not, I don't think it is in you. We actually, I know John kind of instilled that, and the environment instilled the idea of like, get up and go again. You know what I mean? Now I know your own father would instill that, your own family would have instilled that. I know my granddad did it in me, and they were probably the type same people. You know what I mean? They were in the same army. They went to the Congo together. They did
that's
things
right.
like that, which is a mad little situation.
It's
as well
crazy, like, but most definitely, like, you know, whatever. My dad's mentality definitely brushed off of me. Like, my dad was just a grafter.
That's it.
A grafter. Didn't complain. Worked every day of his life. Like, you know what I mean? Worked right up until he was, you know, till his 70s, like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Driving trucks. He was in the army, and, you know, as a young kid going over somewhere where they knew nothing about, and then, you know, going through what went over in the Congo, like, which is insane as a 19-year-old. But that instilled something in you, and some of that DNA brushed off in me and gave me a little bit of a fight. And, you know, if he can go through stuff like that, surely I can go through, you know, what I've went through. Do you know what I mean?
Have you seen that? Like, so the thing we're referring to is the Battle of Jabberville, the siege of Jabberville.
Yeah,
I don't even know if I'm saying it right.
Yeah. You know, I only watched the movie, like, you know, and to see what went on over there. And my dad was at he was at the Battle of the Bridge or something. They were fighting for the bridge. Okay, now it's not in the movie, but
it kind of is actually a little bit of it, because that's the part where my granddad was stuck as well.
So, you know, I knew nothing. My dad used to tell me these stories about all of this, and I was like, whatever that, yeah. Like, but then I started to go to the Veterans Association there on Arbor Hill and listen to some of the stories, what they used to say about what went on over there. And you know what, I got a huge sense of pride to find out what me dad actually did. You know what I mean? And it was one of the only, like, he left the army and then went driving trucks and on. He done that for years, and as I said, he grafted. I don't think he particularly liked driving the trucks, but he done it because he needed to. But then he went back and joined the Veterans Association. It was the one time in his last years that he just came out of a shell again. He found his friends, old friends that he hasn't seen in years, and he found that common ground that they all went through, and he used to go in there every day, and it was brilliant, you know what I mean? But he was a grafter, a hard worker, and he was dogged, and I definitely think some of that brushed off onto me, you know what I mean?
Definitely, it has to, and the idea, I know the man liked the whiskey as well.
No, yeah, and I like the whiskey myself, Jesus. I'm every bar of them, God love me.
Yeah. You'll be only getting older. So I'll fly back real quick. So when we first started, I started in the Rat Cool gym. So the Rat Cool gym would have been the gym in the back. Now, you were like saying you would have been grown up in Ballymun. You would have been travelling from that time. You would have travelling from Ballymun to Rat Cool. Like that's a huge difference. So even before we go there, growing up in Ballymun as a young kid, did that give you that rough edge as well as like
the people? I'm not a bogey person. I wasn't a bogey. I was quite a decent lad. Like, you know, now I hung around with a lot of lads, and they were all messers, and we got into a lot of trouble growing up. Like as you do. You know, just
that's just on the estate, isn't
just
it?
on the estate, messing, you know, bikes and cars,
throwing bricks, robbing horses.
Yeah, exactly. All the usual stuff. But you know, the flats where I used to hang around, the Balcourse flats were you know, synonymous with you know, drug dealing and robbed cars and gaffs being raided but you know what, it was just a mad experience. The one thing I take from growing up in Balcourse was the summers. Every summer you'd go out, you'd get a few cans and sit on the hill and just watch the chaos. Watch the chaos. Whether it was a bloke on a bleeding horse and cart flying up and down through the field, and some bloke saying, "Give me my bleeding horse and car back," or whether it was a police car, or whether, you know, a police car was chasing a robbed car, or whether, you know, one or two of the boys were bleeding, trying to knock people down. It was just mad. It was crazy, but it's unbelievable life experiences, and it does give you, you know, there's definitely, you know, I had plenty of fights growing up, you know, street fights and stuff. I never really caused any, but you would have to kind of, you have to stand your ground, otherwise you get stepped on. I never tried to engage in fights. I would give people an option. I'd say, look, if you want to do something, you can go ahead and do it, and then I'll deal with it. I would very rarely throw digs at somebody before them engaging with me.
Yeah.
But, I had my fair share of fights, won and lost plenty of them, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But I enjoy it. Me time growing up in Ballymun is I still live in Ballymun now. I love it. Like, yeah, I just have so many great memories, and all my old friends as well. I don't see them that much anymore, but like they're all still floating around, and even when I started fighting, I stopped hanging around with them. Because I was fighting. I was just training every day, twice a day, every day, dedicating my life to the sport. But they still showed up to every single fight.
Yeah.
I wouldn't see them for 6 months. But if I was fighting, fucking 150 of them, they'd probably cause more trouble than all else.
I swear to God.
But do you know what I mean? They were there behind me, and that's something that's very, very rare. You know what I mean? They always, it's something that like they always got behind me, no matter what. Very, very, very happy to have lads like that backing you up, you know.
Well, definitely, and that is a mentality, as you said, that you're raised in there. Like that literally could be a south side Tala story.
Yeah, it's
on the other side. And that's what you said. I do refer to things like as a council kid, and people would be like, "What are you on about? What are you on about that for?" And I'm like, "Cause there's millions of these stories in these housing estates that people don't really recognise. Yeah. It's like a soap drama.
Yeah,
or something,
it's hilarious, and you can relate to that. I can relate to what goes on in Tala, in these council estates, you know, working class or, you know, the lower class estates. There are crazy stories, like there's just crazy funny stories that are very common, like, you know, as I say, you know, the police coming in and raiding flats, or, you know what I mean, chasing people up and down the road, or lads on robbed bikes and stuff like that. Now it's antisocial, but as a kid growing up, it was just fun.
Can't
to
even
watch.
spell antisocial at that
Yeah,
age, you
I know.
I mean?
And you know what? Some of the boys, it's mad. Like, you know, these kids weren't very good at school, but you know, they were very smart in other ways.
But
like, you know what I mean?
You can't like in my own lad as well. Like he plays on the road that I played on now as well. Like, and, do you know, I was actually sitting down the other day and I was watching Into the West with him.
Yeah.
Remember Into the West? And I show him all the
up the Ballymun, the load of Ballymun and that was.
That's what I said. I was
around for the filming of that. Jesus.
I couldn't believe how much Ballymun has changed when you're looking at that film. Right at the start of it, when they're on the camp and it's all flat on that field. Now that's like IKEA and it's all of these things built up.
They were the fields, you know, where all the horses used to be kept, like up and over the 7 pitches and stuff like that. And it was mad. I used to always remember the horses would get out every now and then, and they like, you're talking 50 or 60 horses, and they'd come through the flats. And then they'd be in at you know, in past Balcurris where I lived. I lived just hopping through beside the flats there, and the big green where Ballymun United used to play. Where I used to play football for them there. But they'd be like 70 horses, and they'd be in at your garden and all. It used to be just
you'd be waking
mad
up,
seeing, like waking up and there's like horses in your back garden, and I was like, this is nuts. But it was brilliant.
When you tell some people them stories, because I'm the same as well. I'm like kind of right on the mountain, but like in front of me is a big field, and you'd wake up and like if the fence is broke on like Killinard Hill or something like that, there'd be cows and all on the bleeding field, and you'd be waking up. And I'm saying to the people, and they'd be like, "Oh, you must live way in the country," and you're like, No, we just threw a load of horses on a field like beside us, you know. One day I was walking, not even too long ago, I'm walking up by the river in my house in the state, and I sees this thing over, and this woman's out walking a pig, man. She has a little black pig, and she's walking this thing along. I couldn't believe it. Apparently pigs are bleeding. Supposedly really clever. They had the intelligence of a 7-year-old. You know what I mean? That's what I hear. I was like, what are you doing walking a pig? And she's like, no, they're very clever. I have to tie knots different ways when I'm holding them in because he knows how to get them on. I was like, I'm going to hold the boy a pig. It was actually one at Conor's joke as well. At his christening. Yeah. The little smart pig he did.
Alright, I did see, I seen the pigs, the little black pig out there.
Fascinated with them as well. And he looked tasty.
Yeah, if you ask the mess, he's going in the pan, yeah.
He's sizzling, he will be. Yeah. So I kind of grew up in the same kind of area, same kind of place as like Ballymun. Now Ballymun's renowned across the world as well. Like, you're on holidays, you say from Ballymun, people are like, Jesus.
Yeah, it was rough. It was a rough area, but especially 80s, 90s and stuff. It was plagued with heroin and stuff. But you know, that it is what it is. But it was, you know what, for me, I've nothing but good memories, realistically.
Mate, you know what, mate? I wouldn't go back and change it. I wouldn't go back. But it's only when I'm older now that I look back and think of some of the stuff he did, and I'm like, man, how did you survive that? And I was seeing me own. Imagine you saying one of your girls doing some of the stuff you did.
Yeah, man, Jesus. Like, I'd look at, like when I was, my oldest now is 7, Layla, like, when I was 7, I was out, you know, running, like, 3 miles away down the forest, like, on my own, like, you know. My daughter's not allowed out. You know, she's allowed out in the little patch of green that's about the same size as this room, and you stay there, and you make sure you can see you at all times, and don't pick up anything off the ground, and don't mess with the tree. I was in the 7 pictures falling out of trees and climbing up the flats and all, like, just doing random. Like, the lads used to jump from the stairwell across to the landing from the 7th floor, like, just used to knock out the windows, and then there was a little area where you could climb out and jump from one side to the 7th floor. To the landing, like crazy. And lads, young fellas, would climb the flats, like climb up the balconies from the G floor to the 7th. And now I wouldn't, because I'm terrified. I used to get on top of the flats. And I'd be terrified. I'd start to get bleeding nauseous, and I'd be in the middle. They'd be like 100 metres on either side, and I'm like, I'm gonna fall off the edge. Like, it's virtually impossible to fall for 100 metres over the edge. But I'm like, oh jeez. And the lads would be walking on the edge of it, and, you know, flinging stones off. You'd kill somebody. You'd kill somebody. If you had somebody with a stone,
they'd be
dead. And the lads would think it's hilarious. Go, watch, I'm gonna hit you. I'm gonna hit John. I'll watch when we and you'd miss him by an inch, and you think it's hilarious. If you had a hit him, he was dead.
but that you are risky with the thing. But at that age, you just don't realise. There's actually a great story. One of my mates, Shawnee, his name is, right? And anybody who clarify this story, he's from Marble Lane. Years ago, right? He was on top of the flats, and he fell off the top of the flats, and you wouldn't believe it. Do you know how he survived? He landed on a motorbike. No, I swear to God, Roddy. Right? He said he stood up, right, and his leg was turned backwards. Now, he runs boxing clubs and all now, and he's such a great guy for the community, you know. Yeah. But he fell off a fucking flat, landed on a motorbike. The suspension saved him, and he said he stood up and his leg was turned the other way around.
Oh man, I remember my brother fell off. My brother was climbing the flats, John, as well, and he was climbing from the 4th floor to the 2nd floor, and midway he fell off and landed on his back, and then we winded himself pretty bad. He was in a heap on the ground. But his mate Niall Quinn, now I used to end up hanging around with Niall Quinn. Niall's a mad buzzer, like, he's a mess.
But he's not there, Niall Quinn, no.
No, not there, Niall Quinn. But Niall Quinn runs down to me, ma, John's after falling off the flats. Me ma nearly has a heart attack. She almost collapses, and then John comes crawling in the door, like, at the horn in his back, but nothing major, like. But Niall Quinn, he fell off the flats. My man's like, he's dead. He's dead. But that was the crazy, you know, they were the fun things. You just had to find stuff to occupy yourself, because there wasn't much else, like, you know what I mean. So you did what you did, like.
And that's, you know, as I said, like, some days, like, my uncle, he was sick today actually, and he's sitting in there playing FIFA. He is this morning, and I'm like, and I love a day like that. Yeah. You know what I mean? Day off school, sitting in playing FIFA, go out onto the road. You're not going out because you weren't in school. You're
sick till 2:30 till everybody comes home from school, and then you start to feel a lot better. Man, I feel great now. Is it alright to go out? And your man's like, no chance.
Then you start wrecking her head, and she fucking
you out. Throw you out the door after about an hour. Yeah, man.
So when I met you and already, we could see how talking to you about Ballymore and all of them stories for days and days. You know what I mean? We get a whiskey sometimes. And
we'll reminisce.
But I know people want to hear like that, and I did as well. Like what you were feeling when the basketball arena was going down and all of this stuff, because that was that was like so when I met you, it was in Racool. I remember having a conversation. Even when we moved to Longmire, we were sitting outside I was sitting outside in my car, and you were walking by. And I remember this conversation is bright then. You had opened your club, I think, a year or two ago. It was priming at the time. And me and Dean were talking about opening a club in Tala, like, and I was saying to you, Roddy, and you were like, oh Paddy, there's loads in it, there's this, there's that. And I remember being like, and it's mad to be sitting here now, because I remember at that time saying, you know what, I was trying to figure out how to do it then, and we hadn't like probably 3 or 4 fights at that time. Do you know what I mean? And I was still trying to. I remember coming in the gate. The first time I kind of seen MMA would have been, it was a mad situation. I was in a nightclub, and someone had tickets for this cage fighting, right?
Yeah,
and this is how we kind of, not got into it, but this is how we kind of seen, like, oh shit, right? And you were on the card.
Jesus.
And then I was seeing it on the gate and stuff like that. Goes down, Ian Freeman was doing the commentating and all
Oh,
that.
yeah.
No, I don't know if it went well for you that night. It was just one of those situations.
Yeah.
But Paddy Mum was definitely there.
Yeah, that was. I think that was the night I lost to Emmanuel Fernandez. Yeah, I got clipped, got knocked out. But I don't remember any of that. I don't remember after being knocked out. I don't remember leaving the ring. I only came around backstage after, and I always tell everybody the story that I thought I won that fight. I went backstage and was talking to the doctor, and he was like, "You okay, Owen?" I was like, "Yeah, I feel fantastic, man. I feel great." Like, cause I'm thinking, I'm fucking at the smashing the opponent up, and he's like, "You sure you're okay, Owen? How you feel? You know where you are?" And I was like, "Yeah, I feel fantastic." I said, "Why do you keep asking me? I'm all right. I feel great." He said, "No, you got knocked out." I said, "No, I didn't get knocked out. What are you talking about?" I'm fine. And then I looked in the mirror and my face was out here. I took a bad smack, but apparently the boys, like, all the boys were trying to swarm the bleeding ring to get in and give it to Emmanuel, which is not great, like, you know what I mean? All respect to him.
But back in the
But the
time
boys
then,
just got so much emotion invested in it, and they were behind me all the time.
this is a field in Ballymun to them, do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
And even at that
exactly.
time, it's like, I know exactly.
Yeah, they wanted it going, but look, at the end, nothing happened at the end. They all jumped up. They scared him.
You would have been backstage because I was sitting there in the crowd at me,
Yeah.
and Ian Freeman had came in and was like, "If any of you guys jump in and all this, I've had with fought guys all over the world and all."
Yeah.
We remember sitting there going, "This is great." And we'd only been training like a few days or
Yeah,
something like
this
that.
is
Like,
controlled chaos. I love it. Yeah.
I can't wait to do this, I was
Yeah.
thinking. But then, as we went back then, so say we kind of fast forward through a few of the years then, I kind of started competing.
Yeah.
I went out and fought. I think you got injured. It was kind of
Yeah.
when I got the big chance.
That was in France.
That little crazy psychopath out
Yeah,
there.
yeah. So, there's a funny story.
And I know how you even got injured. I'll tell you now. I remember how you got injured.
It was
as well.
Chris
I remember.
Fields.
Yeah,
Chris Fields.
It was like
I done it. I'll tell you, right. So I was sparring with Chris Fields, like a fucking, like, and that was the weird thing because there wasn't that many of us. Paddy would go in and spar Chris. Chris was 100 kilo. Do you know what I mean? I was 66 kilo at the time, sparring Chris, and I don't know what made me think that I could like karate block Chris Fields' leg kick or body kick, and I tried that, and he basically just snapped my arm, hyperextended my arm was in a heap. And Chris, I was talking to Chris the other day about this, right? And Chris still, but that's your own fault, like, no sympathy. Yeah, but no sympathy at all. Shit, what are you trying to block? And he's right. I shouldn't have been trying to block like a fucking idiot. But
it was could you
I put my hand out to block, like, and he just caught me right on the elbow, and the arm hyperextended. I was like, my arm swelled out and all. But Paddy, being the mad mofo that he is, he was like,
"Do you want to go to France?" I was like, "Well, there's no money to go to France, John." Yeah. That's what I said to him because I was broke as a joke at the time. You know what I mean? Yeah. And he was like, "You get paid, you mad thing."
Yeah, you get paid, and you get flights over and all. But he's like, "Lovely, I'm on a holiday to France."
That's what he was thinking. I'm going to France, like. And then all of a sudden, I get the video sent to me of the guy that I'm fighting. Yeah. He was at the fighting Rob the dog that time.
Yeah, he's a little powerhouse.
Little monster. He just looked very intimidating. Yeah. To be honest, his jiu-jitsu wasn't great.
Yeah.
He was kind of Bushido stand-up or something like that. But he was one of them. If you're going to be intimidated by somebody, this was the man. You know what I mean?
And there was a lot of that back then as well. Like, I remember my first. Like, I done an MMA league fight years ago, which was like, no headshots, years and years ago, and it was my first ever kind of introduction into MMA. And I was fighting this bloke, and he looked like Tom Poe out of the kickboxer. he basically modelled himself off Tom Poe. He came in with the shortest pair of Thai boxing shorts I've ever seen. He had a mohawk, and he shaved his head, and he kept coming over, standing beside me and looking at me, and staring at me and all. I was like, he's probably gonna try and murder me, like, you know what I mean? And he's like, just kept coming over beside me and stuff. I was like, this is fucking weird. Anyway, I went in and he started swinging like a lunatic, and he was like, it was terrible. I was like, he doesn't know what he's doing. So I threw one or two digs. He swung back. I took him down, and I took his arm home with me like within a minute. And it was like, from that point, I was like, a lot of you can look the part, but it doesn't matter what you look like, you know what I mean?
It really
so that was the same with you, like your lad, small, stocky, baldy, I think he was as well, ripped.
I'd have pair of Dunstars boxer shorts on, standing there. I was 62.7 kilo or something. This guy was like cutting to 66. So I was like, I should be giving it a crack, you know what I mean? But and that's kind of, I think that's where I kind of realised, you know what, I'm going to do this for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
I was fucking scared over there, no doubt, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I knew, like, if we get through this, and that's what kind of got me through. I was like, I go back to Ireland, like, I was actually fighting under your record on the screen and all. They had me down as 3-0 at the time and all. I was like, oh no, these are going to think I'm an animal. You know what I mean? And but that was a mad situation. We ended up having to bleed and get trains and all back from Mars.
Because
of the ash cloud.
Yeah, the Iceland
the
volcano.
drops us off the train station, gives me €400. See you on the other side. I'm in Marseille, man, with Clive Stone. I mean, I was at a third of my MCL and all, so mad. But it's journeys like that, as you were saying, like even you're fighting your man Kung Po there, that it's like you break through little barriers, don't you? You have to go through them things.
This is what the sport has done for me, and it does for everybody. It's these moments of fight or flight that you face almost on a daily basis, like, you know what I mean? Like, I face it now. Like my guys now, my guys are getting really, really good, and you know, I'm rolling with them, and the guys are, you know, I'm being tapped out by my guys now at this stage as well, and they're if you take a week off and you're tired, they're killing you. And that's a test of your ego every single day, and the test of your will to do it, like, you know what I mean? And through the years, constantly, you know, going out and putting yourself out there in front of your close friends, your peers, and a lot of the time people come as a friend, but deep down they want to see you lose, and there's going to be a lot of that. There's
50-50.
Yeah, no, to your face, it's like, wish you all the best, and then behind your back, hope that fucker gets knocked out. and listen, and it happens because you do get beat. You know what I mean? There's very, very few. There's very few people. Well, there's nobody that has not lost somewhere along the line. You know what I mean? Anyone that's extremely successful has lost a lot. Like, do you know what I mean? And it's, you know what I mean, when you put yourself through these barriers, going into enemy territory, was it your first fight?
That was my
third fight, like, so going over to an unknown area, fighting an unknown guy that, you know, was, you know, looks the business and had a decent record as well. I think.
But he beat Rob at the time,
and Rob was very good at it.
Rob was bashing me in the gym, so he was like,
no. So you go in there and you face it and you put it all on the line, and, you know, once you start doing things like that, everything else becomes a lot easier, I think. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
Yeah, you're fair to take risks and put yourself out there, kind of dies. It doesn't go, but it's a lot less.
It does. And you know what I've kind of realised over the years, you're saying that about students and stuff like that, we're stuck in the circle of life as well, because there's a life within jiu-jitsu as well. There's a certain personalities within your club. You can go around different clubs and you'll find nearly the same person. So guy that has all the gear, guy that, you know what I mean, guy that has no gear but always turns up and drop it. Do you know what I mean? And then you'll get, as I said, the other person that will like, they will grow from the situations that they're put in as well.
It's like, I always say, there's like, I don't know, it's like, I heard this before as well, it's like there's loads of different faces, but there's about 5 or 6 different personalities. Like, you know what I mean? There's like, there is the guy that, you know, has all the gear, and there's the guy that likes the idea of doing it, but sometimes folds, you know, when the pressure's on, falls apart. There's the guy that has nothing that will die in a ring. There's the guy that does it for fun. There's the happy-go-lucky people. There's the people that sometimes you see that you just know you don't trust. There's just something in their eye that tells you
it's
that
mad.
I think because we, as a coach, you meet hundreds and hundreds of people, and they fall into you're this type of guy. You know, you're that one of the 5, or you're this one of the 5, and that's it. Like, as I say, there's different faces, but there's not that many different personalities.
No,
like, you know, and because you spend so much time with different personalities, you figure people out fairly quick. You know.
So your club and my club as well, from where we came from. So I'll go to the idea that the 10,000 hours documentary in a second, because that was where it kind of all blew. But your club now, like, which would be Charlestown, SPG Charlestown, SPG Dublin 24, SPG Concord, stuff like that. It is based on the way of, like, different personalities, as in, like, the guy that wants to be a working guy that wants to come in and learn somehow. It's not like it was when we were, is it not?
No.
It's like, it's very welcoming. It's very open to public.
It's open to. It's accessible for the average Joe now, and for the guy that just wants to do it part time and enjoy the sport. He doesn't want to do the gym too much. Just wants to go in and learn something new and do it to take his mind off his job. Where for for us, when we were fighting in Long Mile, it was, you'd have been weeded out basically, you know what I mean? Because it was, everyone was in. There was no kind of beginner program. There was no path for a guy to come in and just stay there. You were in, you jumped in with the rest of the boys. That breeds killers.
Yeah.
But for a business model, it's terrible.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean?
And to me, martial arts is for weak people.
Yeah,
so.
and exactly, and you know, the way things have changed, the way John has changed the structure of SBG, the way his SBG is run, and that's funneling down to all of us. You can be anybody and still find, you know, a place in the gym. You know, there'll be something for you. You can do, if you don't want to get punched, you can do pads. If you don't want to compete in jiu-jitsu, you can just get a few rolls in. If you just want to drill, you can come down and do a drilling class. If you know, like I do stuff with Mike, and he does a lot of stuff on TV. So, you know, sometimes he can't spar, so he'll drill because he'll do an hour striking drilling, or he'll do an hour BJJ drilling, because he you know what I mean, he might be on TV the following week or something. So there's something that's accessible for everybody now, where it wasn't. You went in day one, and we'll probably put in with me and all, and any of the guys that had a lot of experience, and just fought to survive.
That was it.
I went in like, when I started, when I was training, I was getting bashed by people on a daily basis, and I was getting battered. I didn't enjoy being battered, but I enjoyed the fact that it was real.
And you were getting better.
And I was like, all right, I set small goals. Okay, that guy tapped me out within 2 minutes. I'm getting to 2.5 the next time. And I'm getting to 3 the next time. And then, he didn't tap me this round. I'm going to get a dominant position on him. That guy landed 15 punches on me in that 2 minutes. He's not going to I'm going to land at least 2 back, or I'm going to land 4 back. And I just small little steps of progression. That's where I marked it down as. And when you do stuff like that, and you keep looking at the little steps you make, you're gonna get good. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. Address the mistakes you make, of course, as always.
But what you were saying there is literally like the structure to be able to your brain finds this little way to survive in like little bite punch. And like everyone thinks that you come in and you can fight and it's all right and it's good. It's not. It's an absolute grueling process to be able to get. So a lot of the guys I see that are kind of like emotional about the game and like, let's not do this and I can't do that, and it's like sometimes now I don't know whether it's like even like it's a very soft kind of game. Now it's supposed to be, but the idea of jiu-jitsu is it's going to be like, and MMA and wrestling and all of this, you're going to have a lot of failure before you have success. Yeah,
it's about getting comfortable with that. It's definitely about getting comfortable with the losses. Like you're going to lose loads. You're just going to lose loads. Like, I mean, you know, I think I can say I've been fucking tapped out more times than I've tapped people out. Like, do you know what I mean?
That's what we say. You tap 1,000 times to get that one tap.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It's the rites of passage. Like, you know what I mean? And it's just getting comfortable with it. And some people, their ego takes over and they're like, I'm not doing that crap.
Or they won't go with that person. They dodge that person.
They dodge that person, and then it's either, you know, it might not be the ego of aggression. Like, it might not be I'm not doing that because I'm not getting tapped out. I might be beating yourself up over it. I'm crap at this.
Exactly.
I'm not doing it because I'm crap, and you emotionally beat yourself up over it. You know, and then you'll get the guy that just accepts. Okay, I like to find solutions. Yeah. So I like to find the quickest solution. I don't like to dwell on stuff and waste time fighting or arguing or beat myself up over stuff. The way I think is, right, I've lost. I got caught. You know, I got knocked out. I got submitted. How did I get submitted? Alright, I'll go home and watch some tape, or I'll put myself in that position and try and figure it out. And if I have to I remember what you done, which was Paddy fought, you were getting ready for Satenkov. And
that would be in the 10,000 hours.
Yeah, so you gave you put a bet out for anyone to leg lock.
It was actually John that put that out.
Well, alright. Well, there was a bet going out for somebody to leg lock Paddy, like. But if that's not putting yourself in a position, putting yourself in the most dangerous position that you can be put in, and trying to get comfortable in there, I don't know what is. Like, that's it's stuff like that you need to do. You need to, get comfortable. People say get comfortable in the uncomfortable. You know what I mean?
And it really is that.
Yeah.
Like, and I think that so when that gym kind of moved to Longmire, I think that's when it really started to kick off. I know that show came up, the one in the basketball arena that night. It's like, it's a legendary show, especially about the people that were there. You know what I mean? Like, it was one of the first times I think that we were really going to make a mark on like this is what we've done, this is what we developed. You were fighting Sharon Googety, I was fighting your man Artem Stenkoff. You were main event, I was co-main event. It was on the middle of the M50, which is like the Ballymun is on like 20 minutes that way, the rest of that is that way. So everyone was meeting in the middle, and at the moment, at the time, I didn't even really realise what the significance of that was. Like that 10,000 Hours documentary that came out, like we were shooting that, and that was probably like one of the first of its kind in Ireland.
First kind of
embedded kind of
first kind of documentary on the boys. And
Paddy, sorry to interrupt there. You beat me to it, but we actually have a clip here, which might bring back some memories for you.
Right, that's sorted. Let's go. Nice Reese's, yeah. Oh yeah. I've been eating head and since I had them.
No, yeah.
Rolling with this person and that person in the head. This person's found this.
Paddy, you haven't changed.
I know everyone has that.
When all else fails, just scrap. Like, that's
a great
DJ Penn says. He always says, like, just scrap. Like, and that's it. Like, you get in there and you fight your heart out, and if it's not going well, you just stay in there and you just keep going. And you never give up.
If you want something, find what you want. Don't look on the internet and say, oh, that looks cool.
That,
and try it. Try a few things out, and then try get a feeling of it, and try feel what you actually want to do, whether it's media, whether it's something like that, and you actually get a pleasure out of doing it, and then dedicate your whole life to it, and you'll become good at it.
I just want to get in there. Yeah, but that's the truth. Like, I mean, I still look back at that, what you actually said there, and I mean, if that's not a life's motto, I don't know what is, because people will slave. People will slave in a job, and they might be getting decent money and stuff like that. But once, I'm sure, looking at you're looking at very successful people. When you get money, once you have it, then once you have it, you need to find the joy in something else. And if you're a solicitor and you hate your job and you've got your money, you'll hate your job then after that. Like, you know what I mean? Where I'd much rather find something that I love doing and get by just once I pay my bills. And the line just after that, where we just stop there, I turn around and say, all I ever wanted was enough money to buy a gaff.
Yeah.
Just to get a mortgage and have a gaff. And I got that, so I'm happy at the moment. Like, now I'm happy where I am now, but now I'm doing a little bit better, so I'll take it. I'll look for the next little goal, and I'll try and maybe get a nicer gaff, or I'll try and get a bigger gym, or so you take these small steps. But I'm always going to be doing what I love to do. So I mean, you can do that forever.
And that means you're not, like, I commented on your joke the other day. Yeah, like, literally seeing that little family photo, and it's like that some people's goals are a lot different than other people's, and I'm kind of the same as you. In like, where I just want a happy home. I want to have more kids. I want to just expand that kind of idea and teach them kind of the stories that what we've been through. You have actually something to talk about to your kids now as well, rather than I went to work this day, that day. And there's nothing wrong with that. But the idea of, like, you become this, like, legendary figure.
Like, honestly, Ireland, I think we're very fortunate that I've found what we've found. Like, cause I mean, I took a big risk. I was in a half decent job. I was going to become I was working in this pharmaceutical company, and they wanted me to do like an apprentice calibrator, where you would calibrate weights and stuff like that. And it was a very good job, and I was going to get good money. And at the time, I was working in the job from 7 till 3, right? Because they let me get off an hour. They let me come in an hour early and open up and leave at 3, because I would get on the bus from Finglas to town, get on another bus from town to Harold's Cross, teach a kids class in Harold's Cross. For John, jump on another bus from Harold's Cross to Rathfarnham, do 2 kids classes in Rathfarnham, go back from Harold's Cross to Harold's Cross, then at 8 o'clock, train from 8 till 9:30, jump on another bus to town, and then a bus from town to home. And I done that for the guts of a good year. And then I just said to myself, take the risk, Roddy, and throw it all in. I told the boys in the job, look, I'm going to leave, I'm going to become a fighter. And he says, what are you mad? Like, he's like, you crazy? What do you mean you're going to be a fighter and stuff like that? I says, yeah, I'm going to give up the job. I'm going to be teaching some kids classes to give myself a little wage, and I'm going to train full time. And I still see the boys now that work in that job now, and they always say, we see on the telly and what you've done and stuff like that. And you know, it's down to a lot of the hours that I've put in, the hard work that I've put in, and of course always a little bit of luck. You know what I mean?
Oh, definitely. And the idea is that, buddy, when you stick, I know when we started out was when my mum was like, "What are you doing? Like, you're like, get a normal job, get a job." You know what I mean? You're like, man, but like, I love this. It makes me feel in a certain way that I don't feel, and happy. And I think you're like, as I said, with goals, and like everyone has different dreams and stuff like that. And if your dream is to be a bin man, then like, we wish you the best with that. But don't try drive your, this is what I'm doing. Well, I want to do this because of this and because of that, and because I'll be able to buy this and I'll be able to, but when it goes down that road, it's you're never going to be happy. You know what I mean? There's never happiness there.
Yeah, if you're killing yourself, like obviously money is a big one. You need to get by. You need. You know, I still, like, because I be talking to the wife all the time, like, I still kill myself working. I enjoy what I do, so it's not that bad, but I kill myself working. Yeah. I work non-stop, and that's just to become financially secure, because I don't want now that I've got my mortgage and stuff like that, I don't want to be still paying my mortgage when I'm 67. So now the next goal is to get rid of it. I've got it, now I need to get rid of it. But once I do that, I'll have no worries, and I'll say I've won. I always say to the wife, I says, like, at the moment we're winning in life. We have a great relationship, with beautiful kids, have a nice home. I love what I do. I've got to experience so many unbelievable things that most people don't get to experience. At the moment I'm winning. The only thing, I'm not quite there where I want to be financially, and once I'm there, then I've won. Then you've won. Who gets to win at life? Very few people get to win at life.
And the good thing is, Roddy, because what you do in your job and what I do in my job, you're giving back more than you take in life, in general.
Jesus,
it's a huge thing to go to your grave with, like, to be able to say, like, I gave back more than I took, you know what I mean?
The most, like, the thing, the change in people, the amount of people that have came into my gym that have came in a shell of themselves and then just became completely different people, became confident, just from what Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu or mixed martial arts has done from, like, I mean, I swear to God, I don't know why it's not, and people that say this, I don't know why it's not in every skill, you know. I don't know why you're not forced to do it, because what it does to people, it just gives them so much confidence.
And the skills want it, Roddy. That's the thing. The skills want it. Like, I done a talk in 3 skills last week. I do next week. I do one in Drogheda. They're coming to go to Drogheda. John's done them. I'm sure you.
I've done them in.
So the idea is, like, the skills want it as well, because they realise what it actually benefits of. We got kids that go to like their parent teacher meeting, and the parents are like, or the teachers are like, whatever you're doing, just keep doing it. And it's like, there's a big huge change in his attitude wise, their angers that are going down. And
I think when you're growing up, especially in the areas where we grew up, you have to prove yourself. So, like, the reason you get into fights and stuff like that is because somebody will say something to you, alright? You're with your mates. You have to prove to your mates that you're not a pushover. So you have to engage, okay? And you engage and you get into a fight or whatever like that. But I think when you become confident in yourself and in your ability to defend yourself, when situations like that come about, you know, and your friends know as well, that you don't, like, I mean, I've been approached so many times when I was out with my mates, and, you know, people, you know, getting in your face and talking crap, and I've never once had to engage in a fight, because I just let it go. Because I don't need to prove to anybody. And my mates know, like, my mates will know, like, Roddy, you could have smashed him up there, and they'll say, he's very lucky that you are the type of person you are and you're so comfortable with yourself, where if I wasn't, I would engage in that, and you know what I mean, you get yourself into trouble. And that's the same in school. But when we get young fellas, like, I have a kids program, and when they get really good, it's the same. They're walking through school, and I think at the end of the day, when it comes down to it, it's weird, when it comes down to it, no matter what you have of, you know what I mean, money, blah blah blah, the primal instinct is with men is like, who can kill who? At the end of the day, you can have all the money you want, but I can kill you. And when you're confident that you can defend yourself, you don't need to get caught up in all of the other riff-raff.
No, and I think that's a huge thing about with jiu-jitsu and martial arts and wrestling, as you say, from the outside, that people that you say come up to you and stuff like that, and like, yeah, that is true, but I think that they're actually like being challenged without you even challenge them, but in their own brain by saying he knows some of that funky shit, you know, like and all of a sudden he's like, the instinct is to overthrow it, you know what I mean? And it is, but the good thing is that I love the thing about fighting is that no matter what happened, you got to fight someone at the end of it. So like when that basketball arena, we'll start there and we'll go through it, is when we went out to that basketball arena that day, I remember there's a little clip on that and we're upstairs moving around. I'm going out first and I say to you, Roddy, and the thing is, I didn't know all this stuff was happening at that time, but I remembered it really, really well. I remember being there and saying, Roddy, do you want to move around? Because I was real nervous. I had a pair of black like challenge gloves or something. I actually gave them gloves to little Nate and Kelly's dad. And Nate wasn't even in the building like at that time, and his dad brought it home. I met him on the Lewis to the weigh-in, and you know when you're just looking back at some things, you're like, it's mental how it goes down. But like I remember, my fight was over. I came back into I didn't even come back in the dressing room. You were walking out at the time, and as I said, my memory's like an elephant with this. You were stood on the stage for a good little while, was I? Right, was he?
Oh, Jesus!
And it was the most awkward moment in the world, wasn't it?
Yeah. So. John Ferguson says to me, I'm going to put on this, you know, epic music. I don't know, it was from Gladiator or something. Before your actual walkout music. I says, no, because what'll I do? I want you to stand there for a minute and a half. So I stood there and I went through my little shadowboxing routine, and then I didn't know what to do. So I was like, what will I do now? And then I started shadowboxing again, and I started feeling really awkward.
Even when your mates ran up to
you. And then my mate O'Brien, locked out of his mind, comes over to me and says, give us a hug, Roddy. And I says, I can't give you a hug, I'm getting ready to fight. And he told me to fuck off. He says, fuck off then. And then walks off, and then I'm like, it started getting real weird. But no matter what goes on, like, you can be very nervous beforehand. You can be terrified. You can fall. They can mess up your song. They can do whatever. But for me, anytime like that happened, you know, I'd be annoyed. But as soon as you walk through the doors, it's gone. Everything is gone because it's game on. And but yeah, John Ferguson had me standing up there for 3.5 minutes bleeding. I done all the combinations that I could think of, and then I just started
everything I have now.
Then I started just kind of throwing straight punches, walking down. Oh, it was weird. It was so awkward. Like, it was like, this is fucking weird, man. But I as I said, I overcame and came through it. And
definitely. We can't even skip past it. Like, and that's how humble Roddy is. We overcame it. And we got through it. Yeah. At that time, like, Shannon Gurdy would have got a victory in the UFC, and he was coming.
He had a couple of victories in the UFC, and then
so
he lost
big
one.
Ground for Irish MMA.
Yeah, and good guys like Clay Guida and stuff like that. He'd fought, and loads of really good guys, and it was a big test for me. And I was at the winning and defending the belt, and you know, there was not at the time at my weight there was nobody, you know, in the country that we could fight. You know what I mean? And so they decided to bring Shannon over, and you know, it was a big test. It was a very, very tough fight. He was a big lad as well. I always remember making weight that day, and I came in at around, I checked my weight and I was around 64 flat, and the weight category was 65.8. So I drank a litre of water and had a banana before the weigh-ins just to get my weight up for the fight, because I think I was naturally a bantamweight, but I just, you know, you just took the fights of what you could get them at that time.
You hadn't got the information to cut weight then either.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. But yeah, the fight, as I said, everyone talks about the fight and the fact that I got caught in that choke.
So when you're caught, like, and I remember, because I'm standing at the barrier there at that time. I hadn't even gone backstage. I was still at the getting out. My fight had me gloves off, still had me wraps on, and I remember I was sitting there and the whole place, Roddy, was on. Like, it was incredible, wasn't it? Like, what was going on? Like, literally, you got stuck in that choke. And like, I remember being like, you know, when you know as well, because the crowd, not that the crowd wouldn't know, but you know, you can tell, like, that's not right. Deep trouble. That's a bad situation.
Yeah, and it was a minute into the fight.
A minute in.
And I always say this to the boys now. It's something I started relaxed. I was like, all right, take your time, be relaxed in here. But if you start a fight at like a relaxed pace, and this guy has a little bit more intention than you.
The hell, you want to get that turned off?
If he's a little bit more intention than you and he's moving a little bit quicker, he'll get off quicker.
Oh, definitely.
So I was trying to be composed not realising that he's coming out with a little bit more intention than me, and he beat me to it. Before I knew it, he took me down, and I turned, and he was on my back, and the choke was on, and I was like, oh no, this is the first thing I thought is this is going to be very, very embarrassing. The first big test, you know, on Irish kind of soil against a UFC veteran, and I'm going to lose. Typical Irish kind of thing. We're going to just fall flat on that face, and you know, it was getting dark because the choke was on completely. I was getting ready to go, and I was just like, oh, just fight, just fight as much as you can.
And at that moment, I hear, Roddy,
yeah, everybody's
Roddy,
screaming, trying their best, and I just try and get a breath, and I managed to turn my neck a little bit, and blood, you know, was flowing back, and the screen opened back up again. And then he got a good tight squeeze again, and I went to the point of, you know, I could see very little. I would say it was a second before I was going to go out. Now, I hear people say, you're mad just letting yourself go unconscious. I wouldn't let myself just go unconscious. I would fight to the bitter end, and if by chance I go unconscious, that's not me just going, alright, choke me unconscious.
No, it's not a tough man thing.
Yeah, it's not a tough man. Yeah, I'm not going to tap. I'm just going to go unconscious. I fight, and I managed to get a little bit of oxygen, a little bit of blood to the brain. And he switched his grip. And once he switched his grip to the Gable grip, I was like, he's gone. He hasn't got it in his hand. And John's very smart at his cornering. He's very good at, and I picked this up off him as well. He'll address stuff to the opponent. He remember him saying, he's after burning his arms out. He won't squeeze again. And I know for a fact Shannon heard that, and that was it. I got my back to the mat and spun in and got top. And then I took it from there. And I just put the pace on him like I always did. And before the fight, like the whole camp, I have this thing with me cartilage is off.
Well, you would have been sparring you heavy for that.
Yeah, and like Paddy was sparring, and even in the 10,000 hours I'm wearing the headgear and he's not. And I think even in that I have tissue up my nose because every time I take a smack,
we fighters full contact fighters t-shirt on, and it's his blood all over
my just
t-shirt.
every time I take even the slightest jab, my nose is just piss blood like. So you know, I took a dig early on in the nose, and my nose was pouring blood everywhere, and but like that was the way all my fights were as well. I was always a bloody mess, but I was dogged. I was dogged. I always said one thing. I never went in with the you know, the ego. I'm gonna smash whoever's in front of me. I went in knowing that I'll fight to the bitter end, and you know, it'll take somebody to beat me, okay? Because I'll go out. You know, I'll leave it all in there. And a lot of the time when you fight with that amount of heart, when you know yourself, no matter what it is, I say now as well, I give everything 100%. I put my heart into everything I do. And if you do that, you can't really lose. If it doesn't work out, you know, it wasn't meant to be, or you made mistakes and you go back and you address what mistakes you made, you fix them, and you go again and you keep pushing. But if it doesn't work out and you have to change and do something else, then you do that, and you do it with no regrets because you put 100% in. And in that fight, I gave it everything. I was a second from being unconscious to getting up and taking control of the fight. I'm still very unhappy with that fight because it was the only decision win that I ever had. It was the only time I ever went to a decision, and there's times in the fight where I coasted a little bit. I took a breath, and for me, I was like, you shouldn't have took that breath down. You shouldn't have rested. Like I was standing, I was like, get your breath back. I shouldn't have. I should have just went. I should have went forward on him. Do you know what I mean? Because when you're tired, he's tired as well. And the first person to go forward and put the pace on him, you get an influx of adrenaline, and that spurs you on for the next bit. It's like I always say, you take their energy. If I'm exhausted, you're exhausted, and I push, I suck the energy from you because you become defensive and you're still fighting for your breath, and I'm taking your energy because I'm pushing forward.
And heart rate pushes you.
Yeah, and there was one or two times in that fight where I could have pushed and I look back and I didn't. but I was exhausted.
That's what I was going to say, but like, I don't even know. I think if you could have counted the amount of breaths you made from that walk to that, I don't think you had one left in you when it finishes.
Yeah, I didn't, because I mean, it was very hard to get through that first round, because I put everything into getting out of that submission, and then I started walking, I started stuffing takedowns and all, and ended the first round, and I finished the first round strong because I rocked them, and then the second round, I don't know whether there was many takedowns, but if there was a takedown, I got back up, and then I was starting to stuff all the takedowns and land me shots, and I was landing the more significant shots, and I was pushing him backwards. I was always the one controlling the fight, and then the last round, so it was a very close fight, but it's just I never went to a decision, and it was an experience. I really enjoyed it.
But as I said, that was probably the kicking down the door of the first victory against somebody. That would have been the first victory to somebody that had got a UFC win. You know what I mean?
It was a test of our ability to see where we're at.
As a team, I think it was starting to show, right, all of these days waking up, all of this going forward. To me, and every single fight was like that. Like, it was literally, I remember, because when Conor got signed, I remember being like excited that he got signed, but excited that, oh my God, now it's starting to happen. Like, I was thinking I was 10-0 at the time, and I'm saying to myself, like I'm close. We're so close now.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
This is it. We you know, one thing that Conor always, it was weird. Like I as I said, I always believed that I would give it my all in every fight and stuff like that. And we always believed that we were good and tough. But Conor came in with this mentality that I'm invincible, and I think that brushed off on all of us, even John. Like, he just would say these things, and then, you know, he started to do stuff, and that brushed off on us all, like, and that, it was that mentality that, you know, that group that went and fought in UFC Dublin, that group of guys, that group in the Long Mile Road, we took a good bit of that from Conor, and we all felt that, and it wasn't we just took it and didn't work. We were killing ourselves. We were killing ourselves in the gym every single day, and, you know, I used to go to the gym and I used to think of excuses not to go, because it was like going in for a fight every day.
Hard,
the adrenaline, I was like, oh, I have to go in and do this.
10 fights.
10 fights. I have to spar these guys, and everyone's a killer, and everyone's trying to, you know, push and stuff like that. And I was like, Roddy, just pretend you have a flat tire. Just pretend you're at the... I would even be considering hitting the path with the car to get a flat tire, so that I could ring John and say, I can't make it today, I got a flat tire. These were things that would go through my head because I was so anxious. But then you get in and you're done, and you felt great afterwards. But I will say, Conor's confidence and belief in himself definitely brushed off, and with everyone coming down, and then we all just started to believe that we could do anything.
We could do it 100%. Yeah. And like, as you said, even that, like, that makes ordinary people, when they're listening to things, they don't think that, like, I won't say people like us, but people kind of that have been through a lot of the stuff, a lot of hard times, like with fighting and being in situations where you're blacking out and you're still fighting back, and you're at the end but you're still fighting back. Yeah. That people don't think that we get them thoughts, and they get them thoughts, and they go, oh well, there must be something wrong with me because I'm doubting myself. That's why I can't do this. That's why I can't do that. And I'd be saying to people, like, you've no idea the amount of doubtful thoughts that go through your head. It's when you decide to just keep going, isn't it? That
it's just battling through it, like, and I think it's the same with not only in sport, but anybody that's successful. It's just, you know, battling through the tough times, the hard times. And I think the fact that, as I said, with mixed martial arts, you know, on a daily basis you battle through very tough times, like loads of times a day, like, you know what I mean. Every round you're in a position where it's very tough. And I always say, when you're fighting for your last breath, you know what I mean, if you're fighting to get your last breath before you go unconscious, you know, nothing is as scary as that. And if you can get through stuff like that, you can do anything. But it's just facing those fears, facing all, you know, pushing through, you know, your doubts and your ability and your doubts in yourself, like, because everybody has them. We're all human. We all get to that place where you test yourself and you go, actually, can I actually do this? And if you just push through, you can. Same when people are exhausted, I'll always say about there's always something in reserve, right? And I'll say to my boys, and I don't know who said it to me, bro, we'll kill ourselves in the gym, we'll do whatever, 10 5-minute rounds or something, and you're exhausted, you do a bit of cardio at the end, and everybody's on the ground, and they're like, I have nothing left. But there's stuff left, because if I brought a pit bull in here and I hoosed it, I guarantee you every single one of yous would be up off the ground and you'd scale the wall. You'd be up on top of the yoke, and I guarantee you would do it, because your brain will always hold something in reserve, because it has to. For times like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
Paddy Moon, you never know what's coming to you.
Exactly. And that's the truth, like, you know what I mean? It's like when you were being chased and you're exhausted. You're being chased, you're at the doing something, and you're like, oh, I'm bollocks. And you look back and the bloke is still coming, or whoever's still chasing you, and you're like, oh shit, we have to go again, and you go again. And there's always something in reserve, and it's just about constantly tapping into that. It's always about, all right, can I do a little bit more? I don't think I can do more. Try and do a little bit more. And I used to do that in fights and stuff. When I felt exhausted, I would try and work harder than I did a few minutes ago. Just to see what's left.
To see what's left, the tank.
But
as you said with Conor coming in with that, like, that unbreakable mentality, that was a huge kind of effect.
that was a huge part for the whole team.
And then there's no doubt that, like, so you're huge success now as well, but people are starting to look at your story. And as I said, the idea I wanted to come in here today was to tell your story of it. Now, there is a huge part of it being Conor's pad, man, like a lot of the shots, a lot of the strategic stuff that you've done, like, so I won't even go through the Diaz fights and stuff like that. I'll go to the Mayweather fight, which is like kind of where you were like kind of one of the main.
I was the at the forefront for that one, you know.
Like, that has to be a situation, even when, like, I'll bring you straight to the door, say, like, you're standing at the door, you've done all the work, you've done the counting, like, and even that in between, I'd say most of the scary parts were probably ringing Kelly, telling her that you were going away for another 4 weeks, was it?
Yeah, no, like, I mean, Jesus, Kelly's, that, you know, you're very lucky, like, if you meet somebody that, you know, that is behind you 100%. Like, now I'm behind her, whatever, as well, but she, like, I had a newborn baby, a baby that was a month old, and I left for 2 months. So my baby was 3 months old, and for those 3 months I was gone for most of it. Do you know what I mean? And I have 2 other kids, and Kelly says, yeah, go do what you have to do, man. Do you know what I mean? I went for 2 months, and I left her with the 3 kids at home. She went in and she was up in the gym every night and making sure people were paying. She was bringing the kids to school. She was doing everything. She doing everything for 2 months, and I don't know how she done it. And but for me to have her, like, you know what I mean? That, you know what I mean? I work for her and the kids. I work for her because I just want them to be secure. That's it. She knows that. But she does all the dog walk. She does everything. Yeah. But you know, I was all done and dusted. The thing that struck me the most was when we got to the ring, and Floyd came into the ring and he had the belly on, and he took the belly off. I was like, that's Mayweather. Like, this is weird.
We were sitting literally watching that as
one of the greatest boxers to ever do it, and me and the team are challenging him. You know, this is unbelievable. Who gets to do this? And I mean, people might, you know, all the boxers will probably say it's very unfair that, you know, Conor got the chance to do it. But Conor brought so much to the table, and, you know, the game plan that we came up with, we were smart for most part, and we were doing all right. People that say Floyd was holding off or whatever, it doesn't make a difference. Conor still landed more shots than anybody had landed on him. And I was talking to a lot of good boxing guys, and people were giving me advice and helping me out a little bit as well. And somebody said to me, Mayweather can change his style on the flip of a coin, and he can change in many styles. And I was aware of that, and I was like, I thought my mentality was, he'll come out because he has an ego. He'll just come out. He'll come into the middle of the ring and he'll try and outbox Conor. And I says, Conor will land shots, definitely. Because I don't care. I used to say, no matter, if somebody fired a gun at Conor, fired a bullet at him, he would still slip and fire that left. Because that's not a conscious thought, that's a subconscious thought. And the way, how quickly his brain works, that would happen, and he landed. He was landing the slip uppercut, slip right hand. He was landing the shots. I was like, all right. So I says, Mayweather will play around with that for a bit, and then he'll sit on the ropes a little bit, and he'll play the shell, and he'll shoulder roll. He'll let Conor walk some shots and fire, and Conor was doing brilliant there.
And it was just in the first few kind of moments when he's landing them shots, because as I said, I was sitting kind of a little bit watching this idea, and I had the same kind of moment of, holy shit, man, that's Floyd Mayweather and Conor in the same ring, and I knew that was kind of, that's going to be the visual thing that's like, but when he's landing the shots like in the first few things, is it like, holy shit, we're going to do it, like this is going to happen?
This is the first 4 rounds, and after the first 4 rounds I was like, right, Conor, you're doing brilliant. And the only bit of advice was given him was to stop throwing loads of shots. Stick with a 1 and 2, no more than that, because he's letting you throw on the arms a lot, and he's trying to get you to punch yourself out, you know. And Conor was still landing shots, and you know, but Mayweather more and more he was making Conor hit the arms and stuff like that. And then he started to walk Conor down and get Conor on the back foot. And he would walk Conor down, sit, cover, make Conor throw 3 or 4 and close again, and be this pressure fighter. And there's only one way you can deal with that. You know, unless you're an unbelievable counter striker that can constantly be on the back foot and check hooking and move into the space and use your long shots and stay on the move and be doing that for 12 rounds, which is hard. And you need to have done plenty of 12 round fights, which Conor didn't. That's hard to deal with, and he's going to close you down, and he's going to make you hit the arms. Or you can meet him in there and lean on him and push him back, and when he takes the step back, you go on the forefront and keep him going backwards. But that was something that we didn't practice. We didn't expect Floyd to do that. I didn't expect Floyd to walk Conor down. I didn't expect him to be able to push through Conor. I thought Conor would be able to hit him hard, and he wouldn't do that. But Mayweather was so good at deflecting the shots just enough. The shots wouldn't land clean. They would land almost clean and stuff. And you know, Mayweather's chin is untested as well, realistically. When somebody goes a whole career without being hit on the chin, your chin is untested, and you can take big shots.
And it entices it would entice the Conor to like, I nearly got him there.
Yeah, I'm gonna throw more
again.
And as the rounds went on, I was like, Conor's getting a bit tired, and I was like, you know, I was like, just hold for a round and get a breath back, because I knew we would have to take a round off once or twice throughout the fight, because going 12 rounds is going to be very, very difficult, and we 3 months to get him.
And even the judges as well, they're probably going in there. Like it's hostile territory. Yeah, like even the ref, when you look back at it, the ref hasn't even looked at Floyd Mayweather once, you know what I mean? So
you probably were never going to get, even if Conor had won every round, you were never probably going to get the result.
No.
But, you know, for what Conor done, and you know, I played a big part in the game plan and the approach to the fight. I think we done very well for what we had, like, you know what I mean. To go into a new sport, I'd never coached a boxing match in my life. It was all new to me. I was never limited to just hands. You know, there's other ways to deal with a pressure fighter when you have takedowns and kicks and knees and teeps and stuff like that. There's other ways to deal with that, but when you don't and you're limited to the hands, I think we done very, very well. And it doesn't matter what people think about how well we done. People will say, yeah, you should have done this and you should have done that. But at the end of the day, I gave everything I possibly could, and like I always do. And I said it in interviews beforehand, I've sacrificed so much for this fight. I've left my newborn baby, my 3 kids. I've put in 100%, because the bloke that's walking into the ring to face Floyd has put in 100%. And if I don't give everything I have, that's a weak link. And everyone did. And when you do that, you have no regrets. We didn't win. We got caught out.
I think it was a win-win though.
Yeah, you know. But for me, for me, we didn't, and I was very beat up over it. Like after the fight, I was very upset, and even Kelly was like, even Conor said to me, he's like, I apologise. I says I should have been more aware of that style. We should have known that could have came, and we didn't. And I kind of took that on myself that we didn't know that. And people, you know, you get the heckler saying, yeah, but why didn't you watch Things fight where he walks him down and this and that? Look, at the end of the day, it is what it is. But I gave everything I had. I watched hours and hours and hours and hours of tape, and I said to Conor, I think these shots are going to work. He said he watched hours and hours of tape. He said these shots are going to work, and we came up with these strikes and these strategies, and you know, and we done all right. And I gave it everything I could. So I have no regrets. Do you know what I mean? And you know, whatever people will say whatever they want, but I put my heart and soul into that camp, and I'm happy with what I done. You know what I mean?
I can commend you for it, because I have to say, from the outside looking in, that's exactly what it looked like, Roddy. And you take everything from that, because you know what I mean. You gave Ireland as a nation knows that you would have put 100% in that, and even deeper again into the MMA community that know you, that even your own people that know you know that. But like, to be a lad from Valley One involved in one of the biggest things, standing across from Floyd Mayweather, picking the shots that's going to hit him, you know what I mean? It's a crazy little thing, isn't it? And when you're old, and no matter what happened in that fight, no matter what happens, and even with Conor's career and stuff like that, when you're old, that's when it's going to be the sweetest. Look, I don't watch my own fights back. Like, I've only probably watched 2 fights that I've ever had back. Plan on doing it when I'm older. Because it upsets me a little bit, and people don't see that side of it. Because you watch a fight and you're mad at yourself, you're angry at yourself, you're giving saying something to you that day, and you're not listening because you're thinking about something else.
But I think that's because we're striving for perfection. It's impossible to get it, but doesn't stop you from constantly trying to get it. No, you know what I mean? 100%. And I think that's why you were so successful, and why I was so successful in what I done, and obviously I had to change my paths and stuff like that. But I give my heart to anything that I do, and when you do that, I mean, you are going to get good at whatever you do, and you're going to be successful at whatever you do once you dedicate your life to it, and you give it your all, and when you reach these problems and these walls and these barriers, you break them down, and you find a way around them. You know what I mean? That's.
Do you think it's going to happen again?
I don't know. I mean, I would like to. I would.
When we're in dressing rooms now, I'm looking over, and you've got guys, I've got guys, and we can't help but think sometimes that just like the good nights, the bad nights, and like it's weird that we're sharing dressing rooms as coaches now.
Yeah, it's deadly.
2 OGs.
I know, it's not mad. Like we were in there, but you know what I mean. That's great for our teams to have. Yeah, do you know what I mean? It's great for our teams to have that we've been there. We've been, like I said to my lads, I have been you. Yeah. I know you have those doubts in your mind, and you're worried that your prep wasn't as good as it was. But I'll always say to them, I says, just give it everything you possibly can. If you can do it, if you just give it your very best, and don't give up. Fight at the bitter end until you know for a fact there's nothing more that you can do in there. Then you'll get up and you can live happy with that.
On the Sunday, that's what I mean. I say to the guys, listen, you're going to regret this tomorrow if you literally turn away, and no one will know. Everyone else might think you got hit, or you'll know. Yeah. You'll know. Yeah. And that kind of drives them to say, you can only change now. Yeah. Tomorrow you can't go back and change. This is forever and ever and ever. And then you see them going, oh shit. Yeah. Like they realise, you know what I mean? No. So I'll wrap it up anyway, but I'll ask you a no shame question, because it's called no shame. So I didn't go too bad. If you had to spar Conor or Kelly, who would you spar? Kelly being his wife.
Oh Jesus. It'd have to be Conor. You know, see the reason being as well, Kelly's a tough lady.
Kelly's
man.
a tough.
She is very tough.
One in a million. Man.
She takes no prisoners. But and then obviously Conor, because you very rarely remember what happened when you sparred Conor. You know what I mean? You come out in a kind of a haze. But So.
I know the answer because I've seen you fight before. But if you had the chance to come back and fight Floyd Mayweather in an MMA fight,
that'd be easy. That'd be easy, man. I mean,
and you know what's mad? The world would be like, how dare you say that?
People like. Yeah, no, boxing match, he would just play with you, like, you know what I mean? Because he's very, like, and you watch good high level boxers, and you know, when they're fighting good high level boxers, there's, you know, unless you're watching very, very carefully, it's hard to see the subtle little setups, the little steps, the tiny little angles, the you know, but you know what I mean. It's very hard to see that because they're matching each other. But when you watch a really high level boxer spar somebody that's not so good, you can see a huge difference. But in mixed martial arts, it's the same, because I could just go in and just take them down and submit them easily.
That legendary low single.
Yeah, I could just take them down so easy, like, you know what I mean. But for me, I loved it. You know, my thing was I always felt I would give it my all, so I would be happy to challenge anyone in a fight. Do you know what I mean? When I was fighting, I would go in and you know, if somebody said to me, you know, at the time, whoever was the best, like, you know what I mean, at my weight, like Dominic Cruz and all, I used to have to fight at bantamweight, and it was Dominic Cruz and it was Uriah Faber. I was like, let me have a little go with them. And I went over to the States and stuff like that
trip,
and I was sparring.
I wasn't there, but I remember you.
I was sparring in an American top team, and I was holding my own and getting the better of a lot of these people, and I was like, this gave me confidence and just, you know, gave me a belief that, like, yeah, just keep fighting, keep doing your thing, and, you know, good things will come. And a lot of good things have come.
A lot more to come for you. You know why? Because a huge part of this game, I think, is not kicking people on the way up. You know what I mean? And if you do, you'll find yourself in a situation where a lot of people are kicking you. You know what I mean? But like, I know, I stand by and say that Roddy and anybody, you will search far and high to find the guy that Roddy has fucked over. You won't find the guy that he has. So even where you've got to now, you've got here on the clever road, the right road. You know what I mean? Now, you're older than me, and I'm saying that to you, but just from outside, sometimes you don't recognise it yourself. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I like to see the best in people, and I like to help people as much as I can. Like, I like people always say to me, Roddy, Jesus, people are doing well on the MMA scene now. Roddy, I remember when you were fighting main event and you came over to me and you said I had a great fight, and you said I had a very bright future if I dedicate myself to it. And now look at me now. And I would say this to a lot of people. I would watch them and I would try and give everybody a little boost, and not that like for my own ego, just if I see
what they get from it.
I see if people like he done something good, let him know.
Yeah.
Let him know that he done something good, and let him know that if he works hard, he can go anywhere. And I think people took a lot from that, because I was at a high level at that stage, you know what I mean? And I could have been a dickhead and walked around with a big ego saying I'm the best and stuff like that, but I didn't. I am a people person, and I do my very best for anyone that walks in my gym, or if somebody looks for help. If I can do it, I will definitely do it, and I'll do it with no hidden agenda. No, I'll do it because it's a good thing to do, and I believe if you do good things and you help people along the way, you never know, you might need their help along the way as well.
And I stand by that, because the reason why when people walk in the door, not I would be the same to a person, but I make an extra effort. Like when guys like King Cowley were walking in and we were down there, I was kind of doing what you did to me, so you showed me.
Yeah, and I see that from all the other boys like Chris and Cotton and Adam and Queely and Mulpeter and Ash and all of these people, all of the people that were around there, Brian Moore, and so many of them, all at that time, because I was forced there, I would always say, look, Paddy, Jesus, that triangle game that you're playing, that whole guard game is unbelievable. Keep working on it and keep doing it. Or Chris, man, your kicking game is unbelievable, because you just broke my arm. Or Cottle, once you get somebody on the wall, they ain't getting off the wall. No matter who it is. You're not getting off the wall. Arton, that style of fighting is not seen. People will come in and try and land on you, and because of the way you fight, they'll miss and you'll crack them. I would see the good qualities that every fighter would have, and I would let them know, and I think that might have gave a lot of people confidence. But I can see them doing that in their gyms, like you're doing that in your gym. You were doing that with the next generation of fighter, and you took over the MMA program of John's. And I'd be listening to people, oh, Paddy's brilliant, because he can see what I'm good at, and he's addressing it, and he's letting me know, and he's helping me develop it. And that was something that I did when I was with all of you.
I got a lot of that from you.
Yeah, and but I think that's people need to hear that. They need to hear why they're going right, not where they're going wrong all the time. You need to address your mistakes, but you know, if somebody's doing something good and it's like it's a good style or whatever, you know, tell them it's good and help them compliment it. And you know, if you have anything to offer, let them like offer it to them. It may work, it may not work. Like it's the same with when I work with Conor. I offer shots. Some of the shots work, some of them don't work.
Yeah.
And the same when I do stuff with anyone that I pad, I don't say this is the way you do it and this is the way I want you to do it. I might do that as for when the kids are young and mould them into a style. And then when they're 17 or 18, based on their personality, it'll change a little bit. But when they come in and you have a bit of experience and this is the type of style you are, I'll offer shots. If we work on them, if they work, they work. If they don't work, they don't work, and we throw them away. And then we go back and we figure out new shots. You know what I mean?
Well, that is the fixing process. And if you don't approach it that way, you won't last much.
Yeah.
Have you got some question there? Mono's monologue here.
Yeah, I'm standing in for Robin's roundup this week.
He has the shits.
Yeah. And we asked last week for a few of your followers.
Oh yeah, so on the Limor app, even for this one as well, if you want to voice comment a message under it, we'll play it on the next one, and whoever I have in that time, we'll try and answer. You're just lucky that Roddy's gonna help me answer these ones. So
yeah.
Brilliant. We'll go with the first one anyway. So, just get it now.
Hi guys, it's Robin here. Robin from Robin's Roundup. I'm a producer on No Shame. It was at that point Robin realised that Paddy didn't know who he was. I'm only messing. Of course he knows who I am. But look, I'm really, really sorry I couldn't make the shoot today. I'm currently in Belfast. The basketball's on this weekend and I'm just recording my training here. I couldn't get out of the shoot unfortunately because it's been scheduled for a long time and it had to be moved to the Thursday. But it was genuinely good because I'm a massive Owen Roddy fan. I genuinely mean that. Like, I love the vlog series you do for all the fights, particularly the Mayweather one. I think, you know, you're training the greatest fighter of a generation for the biggest fight ever, maybe, and through it all, through the 24/7 hard work, you did it all with a smile on your face, and that's what it's all about really at the end of the day. If me and my mates was ever in a situation like that, I'd like to think that that's how we'd handle it, you know, just enjoying ourselves, having a crack, and that's what it's all about, as I said. So look, I feel bad for not being there, so I wanted to get Owen a present. So Shane, if you look in that bag there beside you and reach in, there's a surprise there for Owen.
Reese's! I don't want to bleed and die.
If you want to give that to Owen.
I'll have to break it.
It's a Reese's peanut butter cup. I heard you were a fan.
I love it.
I got one for Paddy as well, so he doesn't choke me out next time I see him. And Shane, I got you one as well. And also, cheers for doing the camera work.
Hey.
So that's pretty much it, guys. Oh, yeah, I do have one question for Owen. Whose idea was it to wear those suits out for the Mayweather fight? I reckon it was the best dressed corner I've ever seen. So anyway, look, genuinely good. Couldn't see you today, Owen, like big fan. And hopefully you'll come back on the show so I can meet you again face to face in person.
Definitely.
Cheers, guys. Looking forward to listening to the show.
Back on the show, most definitely. But,
there you go. So.
Oh God, yeah. So I had an anxiety attack when I seen this week, right? Because you know I wouldn't be flashed like that, and I would be paranoid. Like people would be laughing at me wearing that stuff, right? So we went up. It was Conor's suit guy or his partner now, David August. Yeah, he was like, let's do something different, and he wouldn't tell us what was going on at all until the day before.
That freaked me out.
Right. And I was like, I just want a pair of tracksuit pants and a t-shirt. Do you know what I mean? That's all I want. And then he gave me these slacks and the suit, and I was like, oh my God. And I looked in the mirror and I was like, it looks like I'm going to the Snooker World Championships. Honest to God, because I had a little black band on my arm and all. I was like, it's basically going to the Crucible final. I'm going playing snooker. and I started getting panic. I was like, oh God, no. But like, then like, Conor was like, he says, I think it looks rapid. Nobody's ever done it like that. And the more I thought about it, I was like, you know what, fuck it. It's once in a lifetime. It looks slick. It's not appropriate, and it wasn't that practical, you know, jumping in and out of the ring. But yet, August made he made it in material that was a little bit flexible and stuff like that. But yeah, at first I was a bit anxious, but then when I look back, we looked fairly slick, like, you know what I mean?
Well.
You know, I still have that now. I do wear that outfit out every now and then.
Every
you know
now and
what
the
I mean?
gaff you mean.
Yeah, when I'm down in the old snooker hall in Ballymun. But yeah, so that was it.
Great.
Any more?
Just one more, because you've had a great chat. Right, Robin brought up something to do with conspiracy theories the last 2 episodes. We'll stick on that theme. You might have heard Eddie Alvarez going on about the flat Earth theory.
No, I haven't.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I'm sure you've heard of a guy called Elon Musk.
Yep.
He's probably the Leonardo da Vinci of our generation. But
Yeah.
he wrote on Twitter during, I think it was during the week, why is there no Flat Mars Society directly to the Flat Earth Society?
Right.
And the reply was, hi Elon, thanks for the question. Unlike the Earth, Mars has been observed to be round. We hope you have a fantastic day. So what's your thoughts on that reply?
The world's fucked, lads. That's just straight. The world's fucked.
I love listening to all these crazy theories and stuff like that. Yeah, I think people just have too much time on their hand. And I swear to God, fair play to the lads that come up with these ideas, because they put the craziest stuff out there, they stick it on YouTube, and it gets millions and millions of views, and they have monetized that video, and they're making cash on it, and then they'll do another one and stick a sponsor on it and make loads more. And the more ridiculous you make it, you're always going to have 2 sides. You're always going to have people that will find some sort of, they'll rationalise it somehow, and then you'll find educated human beings that will tell you how stupid it is. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, it's great. Flat Earth and, you know, Illuminati and, you know, crab people and all of this crazy stuff. It's great.
The mermaid stuff and all that.
That's mad. It's deadly.
It
But
is,
like,
man.
you know what? Leave them to it. Like,
That's
yeah.
what we say as
Yeah,
well.
leave
Look,
them
we
to
wouldn't
it.
abuse somebody over being
Yeah.
mental like that, you know what I mean? But it literally is. It confuses the whole world's just confused on what's right, what's wrong, what's flat, what's round.
Yeah, I'd say as well, don't be don't waste your time. I always just live in a moment. Don't waste your time on what potentially is or could happen, or what has happened in the past, because what's happened in the past it's nothing but a memory, and what's happening, what's potentially going to happen in the future is nothing but an idea in your brain. What's happening now is what's happening now. So just chill there and embrace what's going on and enjoy it.
You're on your way. You're on your way to the little bit in the future.
Yeah.
The ideas.
Yeah, perfect. That's it. And TKO.
So thanks for listening again. So if you want to tune into TKO, download the Limor app on the App Store and catch out some extra footage there. But nice one, Roddy, for having
I
you.
enjoyed that. That was deadly,
You
man. Really
OG
enjoyed it.
motherfucker.
Yeah, man. Be good, man. Thank you
very much.